Welcome everyone to our Lean channel. Today we will start exploring element 7.5 of ISO 9001-2015 standard documented information. This clause is quite a long one. Thus I broke it into a few videos so you do not fall asleep on me trying to watch the whole story in one sitting. If you are new here, click the subscribe button to stay in touch. 9001-2015 revision introduced this new term documented information to replace all familiar procedures for requirements and records for evidence of compliance with the requirements. In this and the following videos, I will differentiate between the documents or procedures and records. Element 751 General reads: the organization's QMS shall include the following. F. Documented information required by this international standard, and B. Documented information determined by the organization as being necessary for the effectiveness of the QMS. Let's start with the requirements of the standard. This one is easy. If you search the standard for quote documented information unquote, you will find some 42 instances of this term. Several of them are titles, and some are not requirements. Looking closer and focusing on the term maintain, we will find that there are only 3 required procedures. 4.3 QMS Scope, 5.2.2 Quality Policy, and 6.2.1 Quality Objectives. Now that we are good with the procedures, let's move on and find what standard requires for records. Let's search the standard for the term retain documented information. Retaining means records. This search showed some 30+ requirements for records, and I listed those records for you in the description below. Now, let's move on to the documentation that your organization defined as needed to keep your business effective. In all honesty, I am puzzled that the standard requires only 3 documented procedures. It is beyond me how a business without documented processes can maintain consistent info on interested parties and their needs, risks and opportunities, design process, and many others. In my book, no business can do it, and we have to determine our own procedure list to assist us in running our business. Now, the question is how? There are a few approaches you may consider to address this issue. First, the note explains that the extent of documented information for a QMS can differ from one organization to another due to the following: the size of the organization and its type of activities, processes, products, and services, the complexity of processes and their interactions, and the competence of personnel. Keep this in mind. Running a hardware store or assembling F-24 landing gear will definitely affect the number of documented procedures in your company. The following approach may be an examination of the standard for the term shall. There are 130+ mentionings of this shall, some of which may give you an idea of what may be worth documenting. For example, the first shall in 4.1 states that the organization shall determine external and internal issues. I would undoubtedly consider documenting this requirement. Keep on going, you will find a lot more helpful shells in the standard. The last method is simplest. If you got fuzzy with all these searches, forget them, go to the description section below, and copy all the lists I prepared for you. Let's summarize what we discovered today. 9001-2015 requires 3 documented procedures. The standard requires some 32 records as evidence of compliance with the requirements. Use the note in the clause for the criteria for documented information when determined by the organization. Drop me a comment below with your thoughts about these requirements, and I will gladly discuss them. This is all for today, guys. To get our free downloads, go to the Academy page on our website and look for your free downloads. Thank you for subscribing, likes, and comments. Your support helps us promote our Lean QMS project. To learn more about Lean ISO management systems, check out my book, The Lean Revolution. The link to it on Amazon is below. Thanks for joining me today and stay tuned for the following videos. I hope to see you then.